Hello again, race fans, and welcome back to the channel. We recently had a club race, and it was the first one in quite a long time. Actually, the first one since, or our first official one anyway, since moving to our new venue, getting our track up off the floor onto a table with our new club track layout. As a matter of fact, we put out a video. Put the link will be up here somewhere eventually. A video on that track, the layout, and all the elements we included and why. So just in case you wanted to check that out if you haven't seen it already. But the race night, it was great. Fun as usual. It was good seeing all the guys again and getting together and racing. But ever since doing that original track plan, there was one area in there of concern, and we really weren't sure if it was going to be problematic or not until we had a club race. And after the club race, we realized that yes, we had reason for concern. So it's a problematic area that we're going to go ahead and change, and we're going to have to do that pretty soon here because we got another club race tonight. So we only have a few hours to make that change. So I'm going to take you over to the track, show you that area and our proposal to fix it, and then we'll see how it works out tonight. Here's the area of concern, this little jog or kink in the track here in the middle. For reference, the traffic flow comes towards the camera here, and then past that is the start-finish line. And we violated a couple of our own, I guess, self-imposed guidelines for track design. When we put this here, we just didn't really have a choice. And, one of those being that this, in the middle of the track, or the table, I mean, where it might be difficult to get to if there's a D slot, which is why we put guardrails not only on the turn but along the straight, figuring, if there is a D slot there, maybe the other cars will just kind of push that through to the other end where we can get to it. And we called that the car dispenser. And that worked, actually, until it didn't, which brings up our other rule that we violated, which was putting a turn like that right before a bridge or an underpass. And actually not just one, but two, so it makes it twice as stupid. But not every D-slotted car got pushed out the other end. Sometimes they ended up getting stuck under the bridge, and then we ended up with everyone piling in, and we had to red flag the race and dig everything out. And so that's what happens when you violate one of your own build guidelines and think you can get away with it, and you can't. And we tried, and we couldn't. So we're going to reconfigure the far end of the track a little bit to get that jog or that kink out of there right before the bridge. And the new section will be a little bit more technical, but at least it'll be accessible. The worst part about making a change like this is having to get up on the table, but the tables are sturdy anyway. Our new section is in and complete, and obviously it's a little more technical than what we had before, which was just coming straight across that way. But at least it's at the edge of the table where marshals can get to it, and also obviously reduces the chances of having an incident right before the bridge over here. And we had to modify this a little bit from the track planner. Says that just 180 here and 180 back was supposed to work and fit perfectly. But because we have this bank turn in here, and the bank turns always seem to throw you a curve, no pun intended. But the overall radius of those bank turns when you put them together never seems to be quite what the track planner thinks they are. And so we had to add this little cut back in here to kind of get this distance in a little to have it connect, which is fine. And I like it, actually. I like the 210 degrees in there, and then back again adds a little bit more interest and character than rather just a 180 one way and back the other. So we got finished just in time. Guys are starting to show up. We're going to start racing. We'll see how it works out. We made another small change to the track, which is this bank turn here that used to just have a guardrail around the outside of the turn, and if you're on the outside line, you could just keep the throttle hammered down. So we added the shoulders instead, and now you should have to back off at least a little bit around this turn, lest you fly off the outside and possibly over the top of the catch fencing. Okay, race night in full swing here, and this is the view from Marshland position at the end of the track where we added that new section. And uh, it might just be me, but it seems like that we are having less wrecks here in this new section than we had with the old configuration where it was just that little jog. And I don't know, maybe it was, that section didn't look too imposing, and guys didn't think they had to slow down for that as much as they actually had to. And the new one is it's obvious that it's slower, tighter turn section, and so they knew to slow down. I don't know. That's just my theory or hypothesis, or actually it might not even be a rational thought. It could just be that the guys are just a lot less rusty than they were last time, which is probably what it is. But the quality of racing is definitely better than before. Just less stoppages, less wrecks, more competitive races. All right, this is the customary next day damage assessment. Just taking a look at this guardrail that we put in, and that's torn through pretty good. I don't know if that's just one car hitting it or several of them over the course of the night. But of course, these are just the cardboard or poster board that we attach with those 3D printed clips that we made. And now these aren't supposed to last forever. They have a lifespan, and we're going to be printing up a new set for the whole track pretty soon. But now that we have more track, we've got more guardrail that needs some decoration. So this is a call to action to those of you with a slot car YouTube channel. If you've got a channel logo, send that to me, and my next set of guardrails I print up, I'm going to have our slot car channels on one section there. So be sure to check the description for information on how to send that to me. The changes to the track worked out pretty well. That bank turn where we added the shoulders made a difference. I normally run the low line around that turn, but per some of the guys that run the higher line, they said they definitely had to start backing out of the throttle now around that turn. And so, that evened things up a little bit, adds a little more dynamic to that part of the track. Then, of course, the new section that we added, the track needed it too. And not just for the marshallability of it, but it's kind of changed the whole feel of the whole track, actually, just that one little section. And that added to our lap times, too. It was about 2 seconds. We were running about 9-10 second average lap times before. Now it's like 11 or 12. But it worked out pretty well, and we're pretty happy with it. But let us know what you think about the changes in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as usual, we really appreciate you watching, and we'll see you at the finish line.